Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. All right guys, I'm going to be seeing a video today, and this one is titled Culture Shock in Ireland. All right guys, my first impression as an American. All right guys, we're about to see Ireland's culture shock. If you're so excited to see this video with me, please subscribe and let's get right into this.
It's my first time ever here in Ireland, and there are some interesting things that I noticed in my first few days staying in Dublin. The first thing is that it's really so green. It's like everywhere you look, there's green, whether it's part of nature or green lights, green paint, green houses. Green is everywhere, and it's really beautiful, but I was just very taken aback by how green Ireland really is. Another thing that I noticed really quickly is how expensive it is, especially compared to the rest of Europe. And I've heard this is mostly within Dublin, and that once you get outside of the city, that the prices are a lot more reasonable in the villages and smaller towns throughout the country. So I'm here in Enniskerry at the Powerscourt House and Gardens, and I can say that you notice even 30 minutes or an hour outside of Dublin that the prices do start to go down. But Dublin is a city that's known for having very high housing prices, but also the prices at cafes, coffee shops, restaurants, stores, everything seems to be quite high, very similar to the prices where I'm from in Florida. Taxis are also quite expensive, and I found it funny that strangers on the street offered to split a cab with me at night after leaving a bar because they wanted to reduce the price. You could pay around 11 to 20 euro within Dublin city center for like a 5 or 10 minute ride, and I even paid 30 euro one time because there was no availability of taxis, and sometimes the buses can be a bit slow, so that was pretty shocking. Something that was a very pleasant surprise was how good the food was. I really wasn't expecting that much as far as the foodie scene. I haven't heard that much about the scene here in Dublin or throughout Ireland. I was kind of just expecting a lot of burgers and pub food, and while of course there is plenty of that, I was surprised by the variety of food and how many healthy options there were as well. So if you come to Ireland, definitely enjoy the local food. Everything at the cafes, like soups, sandwiches, scones,
This is really
everything
nice.
seems homemade and made within that location. So that's something that shocked me in a good way. Another thing that surprised me was the weather. It's actually been like this the entire time I've been here. Yeah, it's been a little bit windy, it's been a little cloudy and cold, but it hasn't rained yet the whole time I was here. And I was expecting it to rain pretty much every day. So I've been pleasantly surprised at how mild the weather has been. Although maybe I just got lucky. Something that legitimately blew me away is how friendly the people are in Dublin. Now, I've always heard that people are friendly in Ireland as they are in many countries, but I definitely noticed that people seem more laid back here. They also seem to know each other. Like, it seems like a very small town, like a big city with a small town feel. And I've noticed a lot of people like running into each other on the sidewalks, greeting each other, stopping for a chat. And that's not something that you typically see in big cities. People are usually in a hurry, but I was definitely surprised by how many people seem to know each other and would just bump into each other on the streets, and then how happy and open they were to talking with foreigners and strangers. And so that's something that I really enjoyed. They also wave to each other a lot, and that's something that stuck out to me. And they're also very nice to their bus drivers. So whenever you get off the bus, everyone says thank you, and I think that's really nice as well. But one thing that a local told me is that even though people may seem friendly and happy on the outside, it's not always that way on the inside. And he said that a lot of his friends suffer from mental health problems and also feeling like they're not doing anything with their lives, that they don't have enough opportunities, and that they're just kind of stuck. And I have seen some signs around the city that have numbers to call for like a mental health hotline. And I mean, that's something that I think all of us can relate with, because mental health is a universal issue. And I don't know what the reasons for that are. Maybe if you're Irish or you're from Dublin, you can give us some more insight into that. But although it's something that, you know, definitely we can all relate to, life isn't all sunshine and roses and rainbows and pots of gold. Another thing with the buses, I learned the hard way that you have to flag down the bus if you want.
Guys, I love this place. All right, Ireland is actually a very beautiful place, and you can actually tell that she had good experience there. Okay, this is really beautiful. All right, and I have a question. From the start of the video to this point, you can tell that this is actually a quiet area, because I was like expected to see noise around, people moving about, doing their stuff, but it's like she's actually in a quiet area filming this. All right,
Want it to stop for you. So even though I was kind of standing at the side of the bus stop and there was only one bus that stopped at the stop I was at, the guy just kept driving. So yeah, if you want to catch the bus, you have to stand outside and flag them down. Lesson learned. Something that I didn't like so much, that I thought was strange, especially because of all of the tech companies and multinational corporations that are based in Dublin, is how slow the internet is. The Wi-Fi is really slow at hotels, at my Airbnb, and also the 5G connection on my phone with my local SIM card was also pretty slow. So in some countries you can get 50 or 100 megabit downloads per second on your phone, and here it was like 10 to 15 to 20, whereas my Wi-Fi has been like 1 to 5 megabits per second. So I've heard that that is pretty common throughout Dublin and possibly the rest of the country, but that's something that really surprised me. Something else I wasn't expecting is to hear that the population still hasn't recovered from the famine of the 1840s. Over 1 million people are estimated to have died during that time, and many immigrated as well. And so the country is still trying to rebuild its population from hundreds of years ago. So that was quite shocking. I also didn't expect to find a Japanese Zen garden in an Irish village, but here we are. Something that really confused me is that there don't seem to be any electrical plugs in any of the bathrooms. Now, at first I thought it was just my hotel, but it was also at my Airbnb, and I noticed other people talking about it. So yeah, apparently there's no plugs in the bathroom. So when you go to look for your hair dryer, look in the kitchen or in a drawer in the desk or something like that, and you may have to blow dry your hair in the living room. On the plus side though, just like in the UK, you can actually turn off the individual electrical outlets. So I think that's really cool, and I wish we had that in the US as well. I remember when I was in college, my roommate used to unplug all of the appliances so we could save money on our electrical bill. And yeah, if we just had plugs that you could turn on and off, we wouldn't have to do that. Something that I thought was really cool is that all of the signage and the road signs are in English as well as Irish. And even though I knew that Irish was an official language here, I didn't expect to see all of the signs in Irish. So I think that that's really cool, and it looks like quite a difficult language to learn. But something else that really surprised me is that it could be quite normal for people to be late around here, and that's not something that's very customary throughout Europe. So I was pretty surprised to hear that, yeah, people could be 15 minutes late, an hour late, and it's really no big deal. But also things are open quite late. So I noticed people out having dinner really late, like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Clubs are open till 3 a.m. And then there's also people out and about, like just walking around on the streets in the middle of the night, having kebabs and things at 4 or 5 in the morning. So I was surprised at how lively the nightlife was and how late people were out and about. And the towns outside of Dublin have quite interesting names. I saw towns such as Stepaside, Goatstown, and The Scalp. And I'm sure there are many more. Those are just a few of the towns that I've passed through. So what other interesting things do you know about Dublin and Ireland in general? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.
Okay guys, this is indeed a very wonderful video, right? I enjoyed watching this from the very start. All right, this is actually my first time reacting to Irish culture shock. All right guys, you can actually tell she did had a good experience. This is really beautiful. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you have any suggestions about Irish videos, if you have any suggestions about Ireland videos, please drop them in the comment section. Okay, thank you guys for watching and see you guys on my next one. Bye.